What is going on? Okay, so look, what's going on here is it looks like Zurfi is getting it done. Yes, finally, it looks like we got our PM in Iraq. All right, we'll get into that for just a second, but let's get into these other things. A real quick reminder, Pimpy's investment chat. I have a link in the description. Please feel free to follow it. It will take you to our group. And in here, we have all kinds of information on the Iraqi dinar as well as the Zim, the Vietnam Dong, gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. I'll leave a link in the description. Please follow it, all right? Okay, so what else is going on? Looks like, again, I talked about this the other day, but here it is again, talking about the central banks announced direct selling of the dollars through the daily auction. So it looks like the Iraqis are back to doing daily auctions. So the Central Bank of Iraq on Sunday began selling the dollars through its daily auctions after stopping the result of the embargo and since March 17th. Now, I read an article similar to this. As a matter of fact, it almost looks the same. So all they're doing is continuing on, just letting us know they started the daily auctions. Now, of course, we wanted this to stop, but we also know that, look, the daily auctions, like I said, somebody misinterpreted it last time. I said this is probably a good thing. And what I meant by that is not a good thing for what we got going on with the Iraqi dinar, but I said it was necessary and it was a good thing for the Iraqi people, in the sense that they need to start doing what they can to generate income to help them with their budgets and help them get their medical and food needs. Okay, so that's what I was talking about, not that this was good for us as dinar investors. Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to just let you know that they're still talking about it. Looks like the are starting back up the auctions. Okay. In some better news, look, it looks like Sadr departs from the Shiite house and declares its support for Zurfi. Okay, so it looks like our guy is getting the largest voting bloc in the parliament to support him. I think that's the biggest step that he needed to get through, and it looks like he has accomplished it. Okay, now I'm not sure if this this is the same group of people that threatened to attack Americans and their installations in Iraq. Trump has made a move, and in my understanding is he didn't just close on 3 bases, but he's closing all of them. He is getting the people out. He's using this threat for whatever reason to clear Americans out of there altogether. Having said that, I've also spoken about the fact that Trump has a new strategy for Iraq, and that is he is sending in a small force of our military personnel to go in there and hit and get rid of and try to remove, if possible, all of the Iranian-backed militia that's in there causing a lot of problems in Iraq. And again, we said it before, we said it again. It's time for them guys to just kick off the training wheels and let these guys start defending themselves and start taking over their own country and to stop relying on other countries to come in there and do their stuff for them. All right? I think the Iraqi people got it right. They're protesting and they're not stopping despite the fact that they're getting killed. Again, this is another great plug and a great point to make about our Second Amendment here in the United States. This gives us the right to fight against governments who do this kind of stuff. If we go out and we protest and they shoot at us and it's, unwarranted, it's a peaceful protest, well, guess what? Americans have the right to go home, grab their guns, and come back and retaliate, okay? So, nonetheless, it's people forget that the Second Amendment's purpose is to make sure that we protect ourselves against a government of tyranny. And I know that people in other states always said, well, our government would never do that. Yeah, well, we just got through an administration that was pretty borderline of doing that. So, nonetheless, in a move that was not expected, the deputies of the alliance led by Sadr and the largest in Iraq parliament yesterday announced their support for the prime minister-designate Zurfi. Okay, so it looks like he's going to get there. I think this is the biggest hurdle that he needed to get past. Okay, now that's him. I'm not sure what that leaves his cabinet. Let's find out. So confirmed on official statement their support for forming the new government as soon as possible, headed by Zurfi, noting that the latter will proceed with the procedures for forming his new government despite the opposition from some Shiite political blocs. Okay? This is big. I told you that a lot of the Shiite members were sitting with Zurfi and just sitting there making sure that they had an understanding that if they do support him, they wanted to make sure that a lot of their needs are being taken care of, especially the Kurds were in there and just saying, look, they want to make sure to get their salaries. They want to make sure to get their money from the oil sales. They want to make sure to that they're going to get all the things that they're supposed to get according to the new laws. So it looks like whatever Zurfi said, it must have won him over. It's very interesting that Sadr, of all people, is actually supporting this government. Now, why this is surprising is because these people are the Iranian-backed politicians. Now, here's my suspicion on this. My suspicion is this. Iran's starting to realize that they don't have the money nor the power to try to control all these different countries like they had before. I'm talking about Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and Iraq, Afghanistan. They're trying to get in there. I mean, it's especially with Soleimani gone, and the money that they had is pretty much gone. And the sanctions against Iran are really just choking that country off to the point where their own people in Iran are starting to protest, just like they did in Iraq. Okay, so having said that, I think what happens is Iran is starting to realize they don't have the strength nor the power to keep up these fights. It's better to probably just go ahead and allow the parliament to be, the PM to get in there with his people, and then do what they can from a political point instead of trying to force their will in as far as the PM is concerned and their cabinet. So my guess is they're going to take another approach, and that is try to do it from a parliamentary stance. We'll see where that goes, okay? Because this is going to be interesting. So for us people who hold the dinar, this is big news. This is good. We need the government to become stable. We have been waiting for this. As a matter of fact, for those of you who watch that lady, what's her name? The UN lady, Backshire, or whatever the heck her name is. You guys will let me know in the comments. She was saying that, look, the UN is getting ready to move them back into the Chapter 7 or keep them in Chapter 7, I think it was, if they just didn't get their crap together with their government. Okay, so it looks like we're there. We're well on our way. Looks like the government is about to get established here, and it's going to be done quickly, I can tell you that. So we'll see. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that it happens. A lot of these articles are pretty much the same thing. So, and this is what I was talking about. This was my feeling. Americans warned against obstructing the vote of Zurfi government and considers it as last opportunity for Iraq. Okay, so an American ambassador to Baghdad warned today, Saturday, against obstructing the vote of Zurfi government because of Iran's interference, because this will have serious consequences. The government of Zurfi may be the last chance for Iraq, so it is better not to come to us or write to us and knock on a door of others for support. I think the coalitions, they met with Zurfi as well as who was that? Oh, the president, Saleh, not that long ago, and told him, look, if you guys can't get this together, we're pulling out our support altogether. And not just the United States, but also the coalition members that are there as well. Okay, so I think this is, this threat has really served its purpose as far as getting these people to understand that, look, they got to get their government together. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. We know that Zurfi has a very strong agenda, and a big portion of that agenda, which is, again, ironic, is the removal of Iran's influence in that country. I told you this guy, in my opinion, was going to get in there, especially since he's Trump's guy. Trump likes him a lot, so does Mike Pompeo. And they were going to do everything they can to get him in there. Okay? Now, to be quite honest, I'm not so sure that we've ever seen such a push by an administration to make sure that a certain individual is voted into office over in Iraq. Now, we sent support and we told them that, hey, we hope you guys get your stuff together, but not like now. Now the United States is threatening. This is a whole different approach, and it's very interesting. It has me thinking, I wonder what why they're making such a heavy push outside of the obvious, and that is and China's influence into that country. China has been spending huge bucks on every country, including our own. Come to find out, our major college institutions have been taking extremely large amounts of money from the Chinese government, and they have been teaching some anti-American crap. So, this is why you see a lot of these pro-communist, pro-socialist movement happening. It's because their academics have been involved and China has been behind it the whole time. So that's going to change. But anyways, nonetheless, China's trying to do the same everywhere, and that includes Iraq. We know that they're getting ready to assign one of the largest oil deals in which they're going to allow China to come into the giant oil fields and start abstracting oil from there. We'll see how all this holds over. I have a feeling that kind of agreement is not going to hold over well with the new PM. The president has not been a part of that agreement. That is something I believe Maliki has been trying to put together. So we'll see. We'll get this guy in the office and we'll see from there. Joint operations set to schedule to vacate all U.S. sites. See, this is what I was talking about. So I know we were talking about 3 of the 8, but this looks like all of them. So confirmed on Saturday that the withdrawal of the U.S. forces from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, base and Anbar came according to pre-agreement timetable between the Iraq government set to evacuate schedule that includes all Americans. Okay, so they are doing some sites, not all sites. Okay, good deal. So, this comes again. I told you Trump had some intelligence that told him that, these people are getting ready to hit Americans hard in these bases. Now, whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but it's credible enough that where Trump's evacuating the bases, which is what he had planned to do anyways. So it wouldn't be surprising if Trump said, look, we're going to evacuate, and they made an evacuation agreement and gave the Iraqi people the evacuation, or not evacuation, but the schedule for them to leave. And then all of a sudden, those other Iranian-backed militia people just go, yeah, they're leaving because of us, and threaten to strike when they already know they're going to leave. That's like, threatening to kick somebody's butt that you just cower down to after they left. That's good. You can talk a good game when they're leaving. You know what I mean? Try to make it look like they're leaving because of you, but that's not the truth, okay? Anyways, look, it looks like we're well on our way where we need to be. This is good news, you guys. Look at Al-Safari's getting in there. The parliament has, I think, the schedule for this early part of the week to go ahead and vote in his confidence. It looks like he's gotten all the right people to support him. I'll leave a link as usual to all of these so that you could go ahead and read that. Most of these articles are just that. All these alliances are lining up for Zurfi to go ahead and get in the type of government that he wants and for him to be PM. It's about dang time. We need this government to be stable. Okay, look at Al-Safar won the parliamentary majority. And for this reason, his program introduced the government. Okay. So it looks like he's in. It looks like he's got the votes. Look at all those hands up. Smash a thumbs up for that because, gosh dang, we know we need some stability in that poor country, all right? I'll talk to you later.